if you're a Houston sports fan, that was about as good a weekend as you could get. Friday, beating up on OKC at home, full-strength OKC. Saturday, Ben, play the music, by God. Yeah, let's do this, yeah. Saturday, Cougs, we just heard that. You beat Duke, and you beat Duke in a way that is going to sting for them for a long, long time. And then yesterday afternoon, the Astros come back from down 7-1 against the hated, yes, you heard me, hated Minnesota Twins, hated by me. Then last night, you beat up on Golden State by 16 in a game where Draymond and Steph combined for single-digit points, and Draymond loses his mind the entire game. Oh, Seth, what a weekend, man.
It was a great weekend. What day is today, Sean?
Today is Monday. We are here. Thank you. It's going to be a great week.
You ran the gamut. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Good job. You got all the days right and everything.
It's a minefield. Yes. Let's go.
Clutch City.
Let's go.
That's right. The spirit of Clutch City is raining down upon you. I liked yesterday during the Astros game, Callis continually invoking the Cougs in the Astros' ability to come back from a seemingly insurmountable deficit. And more than anything else, watchable baseball.
Yeah.
There was, for a half of that game yesterday, I thought to myself, you know what? This is watchable baseball, and I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. I was out to brunch with several friends of ours at Cadillac Bar. A table of 8. We had 3 mimosa towers, and while we were drinking the mimosa towers, the Astros were getting their heads handed to them. But once we got done drinking mimosa towers and we went home, that's where the fun began for the Astros. So I blame us, all our friends, for drinking mimosas because the Astros were playing like they were drinking mimosas.
What's a mimosa tower look like?
It's
just stacked up champagne glasses.
Yeah, or? No. It's literally like those candy things they have in the press box at NRG Stadium, with the M&Ms in it, and you just hit the latch and it spills out M&Ms into a cup for you.
Yeah,
it's like that, but thinner and with mimosas in it.
So a big tube of
mimosas. Yep.
That you can it's got a dispenser at the bottom.
A little faucet at the bottom. Yeah.
Well, does it have different flavors of mimosas?
They may, but we got the same.
Do you have multiple different tubes? Oh,
no, it was just 3 of the same tubes, and we went after it, man. We got after it because it was a great weekend to do it. Weather was nice. It was it was great. So, good morning, my friend. How are you feeling after this week?
I feel good. I do feel awesome. Obviously, that was one for the ages with the Cougs.
Yeah.
And credit to all of them and Kelvin Sampson for just flat out being honestly, there's somebody you're going to invoke for a long, long time as, hey, don't leave yet. Don't get out of your seats. Don't go try to beat traffic. Don't be one of those cold and timid souls that believes that it's over, because they just kept doing their thing, and ultimately the Duke couldn't handle it. Duke hadn't faced a top 20 defense in this calendar year, and they go up against the best defense in the league, and all of a sudden just go completely dry in the last 3 minutes of the game. It was beautiful.
Yeah, they went dry. Yeah, they went dry for a while. They had a stretch, the Cougs did, of about 6 minutes and change of basketball where they only gave up 1 field goal.
Yeah.
They were the Blue Devils were stuck on 59 for a long time, and there were some. Man, just listening to Kelvin Sampson talk about it after the game, where in multiple interviews he said, "Man, our goal was to get it so that there was game pressure on Duke in the last minute or 2 of the game, because they hadn't faced a lot of that. They averaged, they've been blowing teams out. If we can just get some game pressure on them." And when they were down by 14 with about 9 minutes to go, that sequence where you get Cryer hits a 3 to get it to 11. They get the technical foul on Mason Gillis on the scrum after the made basket, where he gets an elbow. I forget which Coug it was, but right up in somebody's face. And you get a technical free throw. You get 2. You missed one of them. But you get another possession, and they score again. That was a big swing. That was 6 points they chipped away when they were down 14 in a matter of seconds. And that got it back to manageable. You're always trying to get it. You're down by 14. Let's get it down to 10, 9, 8. So they were in that 10, 9, 8 range. And then the Emmanuel Sharp 3 with 34 seconds to go that made it a 3-point game was like, okay, well, this is now interesting here.
And credit to Juwan Roberts, who in the second half, they said, you know what, Juwan Roberts can handle Cooper Flagg on his own. We're letting too many of these other guys dink and dunk us with their opportunities they're getting by trying to focus all of our energy on Cooper Flagg. And Cooper Flagg, this is something that was known going into the game. A couple times this year has struggled, has not been a guy who looks like the #1 overall pick in the draft went in the final minute
Late
of
games.
a close game.
Yep.
Yeah. So to be able to force the shot to Cooper Flagg and not give him an easy shot and for him to miss it at the end, like Juwan Roberts did what he had to do that entire second half. To what we talked about before the game, at the very least, look, Cooper Flagg's going to eat, and he was their leading scorer, but they made him inefficient, and he shoots less than 50%, and you just got to take them off of what works best for them, and they did, in hindsight, a brilliant job of it, but obviously needed that stretch of brilliance at the end.
They walked a tightrope to do it, that's for sure. And so now they play Florida tonight. Here was Kelvin Sampson. This is the interview that I think got most people's. He did several interviews after the game, and they were all great. I mean, this Coug team they're a great story. This was Kelvin Sampson, his on-court interview with Tracy Wolfson, with his team surrounding him on the floor after the game on Saturday.
Lucky to have them, but it's not lucky that they do what they do, because that's work. They trust their work. They trust their teammates. You know, I hear what people say. You know, Duke this, Duke that. Duke's great. John Shire is awesome. But don't sleep on Houston. We went 34-4 playing in the Toy Poodle League. We were 19-1 in the Big 12. Playing in the Big 12 helped us. Shout out to my Big 12 brethren, Coach Brett Yormark, and all the great coaches in the Big 12.
Okay, so don't sleep on Houston was the money quote there. If that's not on a T-shirt, it should be. You know, if there's not a bunch
it's
of
already. I've seen others. Somebody's probably trying to file a trademarking on it this morning.
Yeah. We got a lot of good T-shirt outlets here in town. I'm sure there's a bunch of Cougs in San Antonio tonight that will be wearing some version of "Don't Sleep on Houston" on their body, I would guess.
I liked them getting Big 12 love there as well. Mm-hmm. Although the Big 12 will never lend itself to as catchy a chant as SEC.
No.
SEC.
What did he call it? The Toy Poodle League?
Yeah.
He takes. Kelvin Sampson is he'd be good. He'd be a good guest on the Pettycast. You know, like he can take. The funny thing is, like, the ACC didn't get a lot of love either. Like, the SEC had however many teams in the tournament, and here we've got a final. Well, the final is Florida. I guess we had Duke in the ACC yesterday. So, yeah, they're repping the Big 12 tonight, man, against the SEC in Florida.
I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to conjure up any of my, white-on-white hatred for Duke like you typically do so easily.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to dredge up any hatred for Cooper Flagg. But that cold nipple canipple there, I'm done with him. He hit that backdoor cut in the first half, and that's it. I was like, I despise you.
Dude, he's
colonizer.
He's annoying. He's annoying, and be ready, because from what I hear, his family is like the next version of the Plumleys. Like, there's that are coming up through the ranks of high school.
I can't
right
wait
now.
to hate the knipples.
Yeah. Dude, it is. I'm watching Stranger Things right now, and the Demogorgon always comes back every year. You think you killed him, and then he comes back. That's what the Knipples are. They're the Plumley Demogorgon, right? Like, the monster is here, and it's the Knipple family coming. So this is what the level of improbability. I love stats like this when the team I'm rooting for is on the good end. Unlike the Texans, where they had like 3 losses like this year, we're like, hey, teams that did this are normally 152-2, and now they're 152-3.
The Texans had all the forcing 5 interceptions
yes.
and still losing the game.
They had like 3 of those this year.
Yeah.
So Duke did this thing where since 1986, teams that had the following things happen in a tournament game were 335-0. Higher field goal percentage than their opponents, more free throw attempts than their opponents, more assists than their opponents.
Saw that.
Fewer turnovers than their opponents.
Yeah.
And Duke didn't have many turnovers in this game. They only had 7 turnovers in the game.
It felt like a football game in that regard.
Yes.
The turnover battle was very lopsided.
Very lopsided. Yeah, more steals than their opponent. If you did those 5 things since 1986, you were 335. You were part of a group that was 335-0. They are now 335-1. Thanks to John Shire, Cold Nipple, Knipple, and Duke. Yes.
The win probability chart is one for you could put that on a T-shirt too.
Yes.
Because it was extreme the entire way. Houston had a couple spots there in the first few minutes win probability.
That's it.
But then it looked like a bear market to an extreme degree. We were flat out in the Great Depression there at the bottom. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we invented the personal computer. At the very end.
There's one red line shooting straight up at the end.
Yeah.
That's it.
You can never predict exactly what's going to pull you out of a depression. Sometimes it's a world war, whatever. This time it was just brilliant.
It was, and I would say too, like, you know, on the Duke side, they're probably calling it a choke job, and I think it just depends in the eye of the beholder. Like, no, Houston.
It's so nice to see all those stupid Duke fans.
Oh, crying. And well, I said to Amy, because I didn't get to see the whole game because I had an event on Saturday. We did get to watch the last 2 minutes of it at the bar afterwards, so that was cool. And anybody I talked to yesterday about it was like, well, that was the only part you needed to see was the last 2 minutes of the game if you're rooting for Houston. But I rewatched the last 15 minutes of I rewatched from the time they got down 14 through the rest of the game last night. And, yeah, I said to Amy the same thing, Seth, after the game, where they were flashing around to different Duke people crying. I'm like, I could watch 2 hours of this. I could watch this like it was a feature film, just Duke people crying. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was great. So,
what was your event on Saturday night?
It was the Joe Niekro Foundation for AVM and Aneurysm Research.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they talked about Joe Niekro a good amount yesterday.
All-time leading wins.
Broadcast.
Yeah, all-time leading wins for the Astros. Amy won the raffle. She won a 2.4 carat diamond in the raffle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a big night for the Pendergasts. So she's going to put it.
2.4 carats.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
She's going to put it in. She's going to put it in a pendant. Yeah.
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 Oh,
so that's a pendant.
You should carry it around. There's nothing that feels kind of badass carrying around loose diamonds.
Oh, I felt badass at the bar.
Get on an airplane or something, just so all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, why are you carrying loose diamonds?"
Yeah, just because.
A little gangsta appeal there.
Because I don't have any emeralds on me. How's that sound? All right, that's why I'm carrying diamonds. Okay.
That used to be kind of a currency in the underworld, wasn't it? Just carrying around loose diamonds instead of crypto.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.